The next watercolor technique we're going to learn is called wet on wet. This means that I'm going to use a very wet brush with a lot of wet paint on it, and I'm going to add some paint, some more wet paint on top of it, and it will create sort of a blended look, just like dots. So I'm going to get blue this time. And I'm going to get a lot of water on my brush. So I'm really kind of dipping and placing it into my little tin, my watercolor. So you can see kind of a pool of water in there. And I'm just going to go over. It's really, really wet. And if it's not wet enough, add some more water. Wet, 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 wet. I'm not going to let this dry before I add another color, and you'll see what happens. So I'm going to rinse my brush though, and I'm going to add some yellow. I'm going to do the same thing, get the yellow really, really, really wet, and then I'm just going to dot, 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 dot. I'm applying wet paint, very wet paint on very wet paint. And eventually the dots will spread out. And you can see it's kind of blending into green on the edges because yellow and blue makes green.